Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. Craig, it's last day before he goes on holiday.
Yeah, that was that extra time in the Blackburn game.
Right.
It's given me less time to prepare for my flight to Alabama.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm sure everyone really cares.
I do. Got a lot of stuff, right? Me. I'm not care what you think.
Yeah.
I got stuff to do.
Yeah, you're a busy man.
I'm a very busy man.
Meanwhile, speaking of busy man, it was interesting because we covered the City Luton Town game today. Kieran took a phone call just as it kicked off. Very serious conversation going on. And it was all about your fantasy team. Yes, it was. I don't care.
You're going to blow my league.
What do you mean blow your league? It's pathetic that you've got to have somebody ring you and tell you what to do.
I don't think it's any secret. You're clueless, that's it. Particularly when
what are you doing? Why can't you do it yourself?
Now all my friends in the league are going to see.
Well, where are you in the league?
You're bottom. They don't give us stuff.
Bottom of the league.
They couldn't get
second to bottom.
Hey,
second to bottom.
They couldn't give us sausage in hell.
But why are you cheating? Why have you got
need
a
bit
ring?
of extra hand because there's all of these different triple captain rules and stuff like that.
It's not that complicated, Kieran.
That's why I gave up.
Well, no, you couldn't be bothered. I don't think it was
time-consuming, needless.
And so, who was the person that you were on the phone to?
I can't reveal that.
His mate.
You're a fantasy football expert.
Loads of mates.
Did you ever have a telepathic link-up with a fellow player like Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland?
Is that a smart Alec question?
No, I don't think it's a smart Alec question.
No, but if you've got a good player that makes good runs, so
yeah.
I give you, as a midfielder, I give you an example. Well, there was a few, but one that sticks out would be Henrik Larsson at Celtic.
Yeah.
Somebody that makes really good runs it's much easier for a midfielder to know where he's playing that ball. But I mean, I don't think Erling Haaland necessarily makes the greatest runs in the world. But Kevin De Bruyne would certainly be up there picking out.
Like Haaland picked up that second goal, where he said he didn't even have to look. He knew the ball was coming.
Yeah. I mean, he looked like a relay runner.
Yeah.
That was kind of just set and ready to go. Not even check his shoulder. He just knew it was going to be in front of him. The only player I ever could do that with was Santi Cazorla.
Right.
He had that with most of the players. It was kind of like everyone just knew, how accurate. Left foot, right foot, he could turn so quickly, and as soon as he opened up and looked up, you could just run and he would find you.
What's it like, for example, his first day of training when he arrives? And the boys are looking around going, oh wow.
Yeah, it was a masterpiece. I mean, most players that I've played with him will tell you that he was the best player that they played with. Like, I've seen many players that I've played with while I was there, and all of them have said that he was the best player, and there were some pretty good players, right? So, yeah, he was phenomenal at that. Phenomenal.
To Craig, Manchester City will beat United over or under 3 goals this weekend?
Over.
More than a 3-goal margin?
Sorry, who beat who?
So Manchester City will beat United over or under 3 goals this weekend?
All right, I thought I'd heard that wrong when I saw the surprise in your face.
No, so you think they're going to beat them by more than 3 goals?
What, Man City are going to beat Man United by more than 3?
Yeah.
Is that an outlandish...
No, it's not an outlandish, but
why have you got that kind of silly look in your face?
Well, it's an inquisitive look, because I think it's quite...
Really?
Yeah, I think really.
What? Or under, look.
What?
Well, Man City will beat United over.
No, I think he gets it. I don't think you need to explain it to him.
Mark calling Austin. Come in, Austin.
So it's not that hard, so answer it then.
I've just answered it. I think it'll be more than 3. Over 3. I think it'll be over.
Right.
The fact that you looked at me like, with this glaikit look.
Yes.
Scottish word.
Yeah,
sorry, look it up. It's kind of daft, stupid
Right,
look.
daft, stupid look, yes.
The fact that you looked at me and went...
Yeah.
It's a Manchester... Man United... I mean, Luton could have had 4 or 5 off them. Fulham could have had 4 or 5 off them at Old Trafford. And we're talking about Man City here. Hold on, let me see this.
No, that's fine.
Do you think they'll ask for the day off?
All right, I understand it now.
Do you think they'll ask for the day off after?
At United, well.
Oh, well, God knows what it is.
Who is an old-school striker who was on the same level as Haaland, physically-wise? Kieran?
An old-school striker. Drogba?
Yeah. That kind of big, strong...
Yeah, I would say Drogba. From who I've played against.
Yeah.
Guys, I played with Mark Hughes.
Yeah, right.
And
which people may not associate necessarily with his striking ability, but the way he holds up the ball. Well, because people think Mark Hughes is a manager, like from another generation. They may not be aware of how good he was.
Football only started in '92.
Yes, but some people weren't even born in '92 or are watching, so I'm just trying to put it into context a little bit. I was helping.
Man United, Barcelona, Wales.
Yes. Yeah, no, exactly, yes.
Football only started in '92.
Oh, that's not the point. The point is most people associate with Mark
He's one of the best strikers.
as a manager, and I was just saying, just putting it into context for people who don't know, he was a very good striker.
People are just utterly stupid.
Just because you don't know something.
I don't know. It's like the other one would be you could argue if he was a natural. Well, he was a natural striker who ended up going back to play sweeper and most other places. But you talk about physical, right? Ruud Gullit. When you talk about a guy who was World Footballer of the Year twice. Mm-hmm. At 34, when he came to Chelsea, I'd have hated to see him at 25. Oh my God. He was probably quicker than Haaland.
Right.
Definitely more talented. There's no doubt about that, you know. Probably as strong, if not stronger. I mean, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Horrible manager. Horrible manager. Heck of a player. You know what I mean? Mark Hughes. I get Sparky. If you having to explain to people who he is.
Not everyone's 55, are they?
I'm not 55. You'll get 55 knocks in the head in a moment, I'll tell you that.
Right, Grandad. Did Craig ever consider coaching?
No. Can't stand it.
No?
No, never. Never. Never, ever, ever, ever. Never. And once I start doing this job...
But what's interesting, when we bring this up, you get a little touchy when we say that you wouldn't be that good at it. Because you think, actually, you could do a job.
Well, it's a bit like saying... It's a bit like saying you are... I've got a thick skin.
Yes.
How would you describe me in here? Apart from forthright?
Bullish.
Brutally honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much, I would say, the alpha in the room.
Right. When I go to the golf, when I'm with other people at golf, and I do a change.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, you do.
And my argument is against Stevie's. He reckons I'd be in a dressing room like a bull in a china shop.
Yes. Yeah.
Going round, screaming and shouting, everybody want to fight with someone. I've been in dressing room. I understand how it works, and I know you would have to change. So that's why I don't think. I'm not saying I would be great or I wouldn't be great, but I would definitely. I understand. You need to change, particularly and even more so in this day and age than 15, 20 years ago. So that's why I kind of like, listen, I get it. You can't go in, just bashing everybody out the way when you don't get what you want. But I've never really been interested. And in fact, I think it's even more of a, 24/7 job than it's ever been.
Right.
And I don't see the appeal. And I think once you start doing this, I think personally, it's my own opinion, it's always dangerous to try and go off and try it and then come back. And I know people have done it. I just don't see the point in doing that.
When you were playing with the likes of Mark Hughes and Clark...
I never saw Mark... No.
Did you see them as managers?
Not really. Not really. But then, obviously, Clarkey went into... Stevie Clark, the current Scotland coach, went into coaching quite early with Ruud. Ruud took him to Newcastle.
Yep.
That was ill-fated up there when he fell out with Shearer and Duncan Ferguson and blah, blah, blah. And Clarkey was probably collateral damage. But then Mourinho took him back in.
He made his name at Chelsea, didn't he?
Chelsea.
Yeah.
And he got to West Ham. He was at West Ham with Gianfranco Zola, blah, blah, blah. And he's been around. But I never really saw that with Stevie or Sparky or Mark Hughes, but you never really know. I mean, I didn't see Zola. If you'd have said to me, Zola, we're going to be managing West Ham, I'd have said, no chance. So I kind of think you just never know.
With Arteta, did you know?
There's some people you do know,
right?
But there's a lot of people that you don't know. I didn't think that Jack Wilshere would go into coaching.
Right.
But Mikel, I knew straight away.
Yeah, it was clearly he's going to be a coach sometime.
Yeah.
And what about you? Did you ever fancy it?
It would have to be like. I would have to be fully committed. You have to be fully.
You're a busy man, Kieran. You got a lot on. You've got Blingers doing your fantasy team. You're so busy.
I can't even do my fantasy.
He'd ring his mate up and say,
"Who shall I pick in a weekend?"
Listen, I'm struggling for a back four's not playing so well. What do you think? Back four, or shall I go to a back three?
And we were talking during the penalty shoot. Did you ever have to take a pen in a shootout?
Yes, I did.
Which one?
I took a penalty. I took two, only two. I took a penalty for West Brom against Aston Villa in the second leg of the semi-final playoff.
Take us through it.
Scored.
Oh.
Bottom corner.
We have to see it.
And then for England, under 21 European Championships
Yep.
against Sweden in the semi-final. Same again.
Yeah, I've scored.
Slotted it.
Yeah, no problem.
Didn't go down the middle though, Burley.
No.
No, down the middle.
It's not that clever.
For the guys, this weekend we saw two veterans score goals to clinch wins for their teams. Van Dijk for Liverpool and Modric for Real Madrid. Do you think this shows how important experience and steadiness are to a team in clutch moments?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's always great to have that experience of, knowing what the job is and a calm head and all those sort of things. And all the best teams have them. It's what the famous Stevie's old colleague, Alan Hansen, back in the day, you'd never win anything with kids.
Yep.
And then the kids won.
Of course.
Man United. But it wasn't all kids at United at that, but it was a good deal of experience as well.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, that's hugely important.
Valuable. Yeah.
Who,
I agree.
Who, when you were at Arsenal, left that you felt left the biggest hole when it came to the leadership, came to the experience?
I think probably the biggest impact was Cesc.
Right.
When he left to go to Barcelona, yeah. Because, he was one of the best midfielders in the Premier League at the time. I mean, if not the best. And his leadership skills were excellent. For everyone, he could relate to everyone in the dressing room. There was no one that couldn't speak to him. And he was young, so he could relate to a lot of the young players at the time. The boys loved him. That was a tough one to take when he left.
Craig, were you ever close to a move to the continent in your playing days, like your Scottish teammates Paul Lambert and John Collins?
Yeah, I believe there was some Atletico Madrid talk and Benfica at one point.
Really?
Yeah, that was when Graham Souness was at Benfica, which was quite a few British players went over at the time. I'm not sure who was at Atleti at the time. I was at Celtic flying, but most of it was the UK. And then at the end, I had a chance to actually, when I was sort of coming towards the end, and I had a chance to go to the US. I think it was Colorado.
Oh, really?
And I had another opportunity to go to Russia.
Whoa.
Yeah, with Ravanelli. His people were sort of sorting that. But none of that ever really came to fruition because I never pushed it.
Right.
But looking back now, because I've been Scotland, England, going north and south, but looking back now, if I had the chance again, if you said to me, you could go to Atleti and that was the choice, looking at where, the passion that club has, I would have gone there.
Yeah.
I'd have loved to have been able to go there and play for a couple of years.
Learn some Spanish? Yeah, you've enjoyed it. Kieran?
Imagine Burley learning Spanish.
I listen to this thing every day in the car when I'm going home. What's it called? Not Rosetta Stone. Something else.
What about you?
A move to...
Anywhere?
Oh, anywhere. I nearly went to Turkey.
Did you?
I nearly went to Turkey.
Galatasaray?
It was between Galatasaray and Fenerbahce.
That was when you went to West Brom instead?
It was actually before I went to West Brom, but it was also before I went to Miami as well.
Right, OK.
Yeah. But I decided Miami because, I liked the idea of the project that was going on, new club, What's funny?
The project.
What's funny?
You and your project.
Could you hear the laughing in the background?
Yeah, OK.
I tell you what, in our gallery, they think this is a comedy show.
Final question. How many points does City need from these next 5 league fixtures to realistically remain in the title race? Wow. OK. United at home, Liverpool away, Brighton away, Arsenal at home, Villa at home.
Was that 5 games?
Yes.
To remain in it? 11 or 12?
Yeah?
12.
12? 4 wins out of 5?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Yeah. OK, I think that's it. Craig, have a lovely time.
I will.
Enjoy it. All right. Don't say it in an aggressive way. Grace gets to the airport 3 hours early.
No, I'm not. I'm getting I'm getting here early, but that's because I'm going with a bunch of old geezers.
No, that's it. You are the old geezers as well.
I'm the young one on the
your boarding pass out.
My boarding pass is on my Apple Wallet. None of this printing out. That's for the nickels of this world.
Oh, man. Nichols cut his head open. We'll tell you more about that story tomorrow. ESPN FC will have Stevie and his bloody head. Kieran and Shaka will be joining us as well for the next edition of the show.